A locked attic, a hidden fortune, a billionaire with no face. What happened in that room shocked the world, and yet no one saw it coming. Was it a crime, a conspiracy, or something even stranger? The question hangs in the air like a ghost, inviting viewers to delve deeper into the enigma that surrounds this chilling tale. What lies behind that door? What truths await discovery in the depths of darkness? The billionaire was a man of unimaginable wealth, yet no one had seen his face in years. They called him the Phantom, a reclusive figure who controlled an empire from the shadows. His last public appearance was over a decade ago, fueling rumors about his health, identity, and even his existence. Despite holding stakes in multinational corporations and owning properties worth billions, he lived in complete isolation within his vast estate. Even those closest to him described him as a shadow present, yet unseen. But when authorities finally uncovered the truth, they realized he had become a phantom in more ways than one. It all started with a housekeeper. A routine cleaning took a horrifying turn when they stumbled upon the attic room that had been locked for years. What they found inside sent a chill down their spine. Their reaction was one of sheer terror and disbelief, as the room revealed something far more sinister than they could have imagined. Though their testimony would become crucial in unraveling the mystery, fear and paranoia clouded their recollection of events. When investigators arrived, they were met with an unimaginable sight. The attic contained 32 bodies, stacked together in eerie silence. And there, at the center of it all, was the billionaire himself hanging from a rope while kneeling. It was a position that defied explanation. Had he chosen not to save himself, or had someone ensured he couldn't? The chilling discovery led to more questions than answers. As authorities pieced together the case, several theories emerged. A rival seeking control over his vast empire, a family member embroiled in financial disputes, or perhaps the billionaire himself orchestrating his final act of mystery to preserve his legacy or to conceal something far darker. His life of secrecy and solitude added layers to the enigma. Even in death, he remained a phantom of his own mansion, leaving the world to wonder, was this a tragedy, a conspiracy, or something far beyond comprehension? The attic had remained untouched, for years a space frozen in time, cloaked in dust and eerie silence. Investigators described it as dimly lit and unfinished, with no signs of habitation or recent activity. But what they found inside shattered any illusion of emptiness. At the center of the room, 32 bodies lay meticulously arranged in two diagonal Pilisa-haunting symmetry that felt disturbingly intentional. Among them were 4 men and 28 women, their wrists and ankles bound, their mouths and nostrils stuffed with cotton or toilet paper. It was a scene that defied logic, as if orchestrated with cold precision. And then there was the hanging man, suspended from the ceiling, yet kneeling, his body positioned in a way that suggested he could have stood up to save himself but didn't. This single, unsettling detail baffled investigators. Had he chosen this fate, or had someone ensured he had no choice? Elsewhere on the property, more cryptic discoveries deepened the mystery. Hidden behind a false wall leading to a panic room, authorities found 2 suitcases containing $1 million. Had the billionaire been hiding there, waiting for the right moment to escape? Or was the money meant for something or someone else? Despite the gruesome nature of the scene, there were no signs of struggle. The victims showed no defensive wounds, no attempts to resist raising the terrifying question: were they forced into this, or had they accepted it? Adding to the intrigue, investigators uncovered financial transactions, linking several victims to the billionaire's companies and his church, hinting at a connection that extended far beyond a simple crime scene. The attic held its secrets tightly, the bodies told no tales. And as investigators pieced together the billionaire's final moments, one question loomed over everything: was this an execution, a ritual, or something even darker? From the moment investigators stepped into the attic, one question loomed large: was this mass murder, a suicide pact, or something even more sinister? The victims' bound wrists and gagged mouths initially pointed to homicide. The methodical arrangement of bodies suggested an orchestrated act, not random violence. But as investigators dug deeper, another chilling theory emerged. Some believed this was a collective suicide, possibly tied to cult-like rituals associated with the billionaire's secretive church. Financial records revealed disturbing connections between the victims and the billionaire's organizations, hinting at something far more organized than a single act of violence. And then there was the conspiracy theory that pointed to rivalries, financial disputes, and power struggles within the billionaire's empire. Could this have been a carefully staged execution to silence secrets too dangerous to be revealed? As investigators traced the billionaire's final days, his life of isolation only added to the mystery. He was described as a phantom of his own mansion, seen by no one for years. His meals were delivered daily, but no one ever saw him eat. Security cameras monitored his room constantly, yet records showed he hadn't left it in years. These bizarre details led to one unsettling realization: was this an elaborate act of self-destruction? Or was the billionaire just another pawn in a much larger game of manipulation and control? The deeper authorities looked, the more twisted the truth became. The billionaire's disappearance was gradual, yet chilling in hindsight. His last public appearance was at a prestigious charity gala a decade ago. Dressed in his signature black suit, he spoke briefly, donated millions, and then vanished. After that night, he withdrew completely, retreating into his sprawling estate. Speculation ran wild. Was he ill? Hiding from enemies? Or was there something far more disturbing behind his self-imposed exile? Some claimed he had become a prisoner in his own mansion. Others whispered that he had died long ago, with someone else pulling the strings in his name. But it wasn't until people started noticing things were off that the true mystery began to unravel. Over the years, several employees disappeared without explanation. At first, their absences were dismissed as quiet resignations, until the attic discovery forced authorities to take a second look. Then there were the strange incidents. Neighbors reported flickering lights in the attic, despite no one supposedly being there. Some swore they heard faint whispers and movement within the mansion's upper floors. But when questioned, security staff insisted the billionaire was alone. He had vanished from the world. And yet, something or someone was still inside that house. The billionaire's mansion was a monument to both power and mystery, a sprawling estate that loomed over the city like a silent guardian of untold secrets. Its grand architecture was overshadowed by an unsettling atmosphere, as if the very walls had absorbed whispers of the past. Despite its vastness, only one room, the attic, seemed to be truly occupied. The rest of the mansion stood frozen in time, untouched by human presence. Dust-covered, luxurious furniture, cobwebs draped across chandeliers that once illuminated extravagant gatherings, and faded photographs of smiling faces lined the halls, their hollow gazes, watching, waiting. For years, servants followed a strict delivery protocol. Meals and supplies were left at the door, only to disappear by morning, yet no one ever saw the billionaire. Some claimed they felt an unseen presence watching them, while others refused to return after experiencing an unshakable sense of dread. Over time, rumors grew of strange flickering lights, muffled sounds from the attic, and an unnerving silence that hung over the estate like a curse. Beyond the mansion, more secrets lurked in the shadows. A hidden bank vault, concealed behind a false wall in the library, held incriminating documents and large sums of cash, hinting at financial conspiracies and illicit dealings. The billionaire's private island, whispered about among the elite, was said to be a secluded meeting ground for powerful figures, where deals were made in secrecy. But perhaps the most disturbing discovery was a network of underground tunnels, allowing for discreet exits and entrances. How often had they been used? And for what purpose? Everything about the mansion exuded unease. Portraits of long-gone ancestors stared down at visitors, their painted eyes following anyone who wandered too far. Surveillance cameras blinked ominously, capturing movements, but never revealing who or what was watching. The mansion itself felt alive, as if it held the final, chilling piece of the puzzle. What had happened inside its walls, and why had the attic remained locked for so long? The billionaire's extreme isolation was not just an eccentric choice. It was a deliberate, calculated decision. But why? One theory suggests fear of assassination or external threats. As one of the wealthiest individuals in the world, he was a prime target for rivals, governments, and even his own employees. High-profile billionaires often face threats ranging from kidnapping to corporate sabotage, and some choose to retreat into fortified secrecy. His mansion, with its security cameras and hidden tunnels, could have been less of a home and more of a fortress against unseen enemies. Others believe his isolation was psychological. Speculation arose that he suffered from paranoia, agoraphobia, or a severe anxiety disorder, trapping himself in a prison of his own making. His phantom-like existence may have been more than just a metaphor. It was his reality. The untouched rooms, the abandoned hallways, the surveillance cameras that only ever captured an empty home. They all pointed to a man who had become a ghost before he even died. But then, there's the more sinister possibility of a deal with a secret organization. Some theorists suggest he was entangled in clandestine dealings, orchestrating global financial moves from the shadows. His isolation may not have been a choice, but a condition of his involvement in something far larger. Did he know too much? Was he hiding from something or someone that the world wasn't meant to know about? Whatever the truth, one thing was certain: the billionaire had locked himself away for a reason, and whatever he had been running from had finally caught up with him. Despite the billionaire's decade-long disappearance from public life, no serious investigations were conducted until the attic's grim discovery. One reason could be bribes and influence. With his immense wealth, he likely had the power to silence any inquiries. Well-placed bribes to local authorities, government officials, or even journalists could have ensured that no one dared to pry into his affairs. Strategic donations to charities and political campaigns might have further solidified his untouchable status, making any scrutiny seem unwarranted. Another factor was fear and intimidation. Employees, business associates, and even neighbors may have been too afraid to speak out. Those who worked within his estate knew they were dealing with an enigmatic and powerful figure who had the means to ruin lives or make people disappear. Even if someone noticed the oddities surrounding the mansion, the flickering attic lights, the eerie silence, or the missing employees, they likely convinced themselves it was safer to look away. But what if his isolation wasn't just about secrecy? Some believe he was orchestrating something from inside. His reclusion may have been part of a grander scheme rather than an act of fear. Hidden away in his fortress-like mansion, he could have been manipulating markets, managing offshore accounts, or even running covert operations through intermediaries. Every locked door, every security camera, and every untraceable transaction could have been pieces of an elaborate puzzle that investigators were only just beginning to decipher. The case of the no-face billionaire is more than just a chilling mystery. It forces us to ask unsettling questions about the world we live in. Could it happen again? How many other billionaires live in secrecy, hiding their wealth, influence, and activities from public scrutiny? With advancements in technology, offshore financial systems, and anonymous digital transactions, it has never been easier for the ultra-rich to disappear while still controlling empires from the shadows. There are already modern parallels. Reports have surfaced about reclusive billionaires using shell companies, private islands, and underground bunkers to operate beyond the public eye. Some of the world's wealthiest individuals rarely appear in public, yet their decisions shape economies, industries, and even governments. Could there be others like him and in women, whose true influence remains intentionally hidden? But perhaps the most disturbing possibility is that the billionaire was never truly dead. Some investigators believe he staged the entire scene bodies, the locked attic, even his own apparent suicide, as part of an elaborate scheme to disappear completely. The discovery of hidden tunnels beneath the mansion and untouched meals in his quarters suggests he may have escaped just before authorities arrived. If this theory is true, it would make him a master manipulator who faked his own demise to step into the shadows permanently. And that raises one final, haunting question. Is he truly gone, or is he still out there, watching, waiting, and pulling the strings from behind a veil of secrecy? The truth behind the no-face billionaire case unraveled piece by piece, each revelation deepening the mystery rather than providing clear answers. Witness testimony played a crucial role. The housekeeper, disturbed by a foul stench and a tampered attic door, alerted authorities. What seemed like a minor concern quickly spiraled into one of the most bizarre crime scenes ever discovered. Autopsy findings only added to the intrigue. Forensic experts determined that the bodies had been dead for varying lengths of time, ruling out a single mass event and suggesting a prolonged sequence of deaths. This disturbing detail raised even more questions. Was the billionaire orchestrating something sinister over an extended period? Were these deaths ritualistic, experimental, or simply a slow unraveling of a grander plan? But perhaps the most damning evidence came from leaked documents. Financial records exposed ties between several victims and the billionaire's companies and church, hinting at exploitation, coercion, or even a cult-like influence. Investigators also uncovered hidden suitcases containing large sums of cash, possibly indicating an escape plan, a bribery attempt, or payments to accomplices. Yet, despite all these discoveries, one question remains unanswered. Was the billionaire truly dead, or had he staged everything to vanish forever? The revelation of the no-face billionaire case triggered a media frenzy, with news outlets worldwide dubbing his mansion the House of Shadows. The chilling details of a reclusive billionaire, a locked attic filled with bodies, and hidden cash sparked endless speculation, with theories ranging from cult activity to financial conspiracies. As journalists and investigators dug deeper, the case became a global sensation, captivating audiences with its eerie mix of wealth, power, and secrecy. The no-face billionaire case remains an unsolved enigma, leaving behind a trail of lingering mysteries. Investigators believe that much of his fortune is still unaccounted for, possibly hidden in offshore accounts, private islands, or secret vaults beneath his mansion. The mansion itself has become a symbol of intrigue, with rumors of undiscovered compartments and cryptic writings hinting at secrets yet to be uncovered. Yet, despite endless speculation, no one truly knows the full truth. Was his death real, or was it an elaborate illusion? If he is still alive, what is he planning next? But one thing remains certain. Wealth can buy silence, but it can't erase the past. The shadows of his secrets may never fully fade, leaving us to wonder if they still shape our world in ways we cannot see. The mystery of the no-face billionaire may never be fully solved, but one thing is clear: wealth, power, and secrets leave behind a shadow that never truly fades. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more chilling mysteries and hidden truths. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant.